Hey everyone, I am Second Lieutenant Ruff. I'm the Gold Bar recruiter here at Seattle University, ROTC. I'm joined by Seattle University's ROO, or Recruiting Operations Officer, Mr. Dodge, and Sergeant First Class Wolf, the Washington National Guard recruiter. We're going to get right into this since we don't have a lot of time. First off, we're going to go into the National Guard briefing with Sergeant First Class Wolf.
All right. So thank you, sir. Again, my name is Sergeant First Class Wolf. I'm with the Washington Army National Guard. I've been with the Washington National Guard for 30 years and 4 years of active duty prior to that. So I've like I said in the last presentation, I've got a wealth of knowledge. I'll try and be quick. There's a lot of information here, but first and foremost, and Mr. Dodge will speak later. First and foremost, we're here to answer questions. We really think of us as counselors, coaches, whatever you want. We're not here to try and convince anyone to join anything. We just want to answer questions and so that you make an informed decision on whether the military is something or part-time military is something you're interested in. Most people don't know much about the Washington National Guard or about the National Guard in particular. The National Guard is every state has its own National Guard. So you've got the Oregon National Guard, California National Guard, Washington National Guard. And we fall primarily under the governor of the state of Washington. So we are part of the Army, it says so on our uniform. We go through the same exact training that active duty Army goes through. We go through the same training that reserves go through. Basic training is the same no matter whether you're going active or reserves or National Guard. It's the same thing. And your job skill training is the same. What's different is once you're done with that training, National Guardsmen come back home and they go back to their regular life, which in your case would probably be going to college. And you go to college for 28 days of the month, and 2 days of the month you put on the uniform and you come and drill with us. And there's something called the simultaneous membership program, which we will discuss a little bit more in length later, but that's basically the bridge between the National Guard and the ROTC, which Mr. Dodge and the Lieutenant are going to discuss. ROTC is something that you enroll while you're in college and taking college classes, where the National Guard is separate. However, we're kind of akin. We have a sistership because you can do both at the same time, hence the simultaneous membership program, and you get the benefits of both. So, for example, as I mentioned in the last group, the state of Washington will pay the tuition for any member of the National Guard because our job is to protect the state in state emergencies. And then the ROTC, they have their scholarships and they have their different benefits that pay for room and board and books and all that stuff. So you best get the best of both worlds. Your tuition is covered and all the other costs are covered. So you can really go to school and earn GI Bill money, which is paid directly to you. So you can go to school, focus on your studies, and not even have to get a part-time job if that's, if you don't, you can use your GI Bill to live on. So anyway, National Guard, our commander is the governor of the state of Washington. We get called up. We can be called up during foreign conflict. It's extremely rare, but it's only by the order of the president. But we are a component of the Army. Like I mentioned, there's active National Guard and reserves. We're called a dual mission force, the National Guard is, because our first and foremost priority is the state mission. So forest fires, floods, earthquakes, that kind of thing. And then we're also trained, but we are in the Army, so we have an Army job. We're all trained. Like I'm an infantry guy, and then we have medics, and we have truck drivers, and cyber defense, and you name it. Anything the Army job has, we have in the Guard. It'll get the same training, same equipment, and the same job opportunities. And at the bottom of there, it says community-based organization, locally based. That just simply means that when you join the Guard, ideally, they're going to find a location, what we call an armory or a drill location within 50 miles of where you live so that you don't have to travel far when your weekend drill comes. Next slide. We're the only component of the military with state and federal benefits. I mentioned that before. The state of Washington pays your tuition, and then we also get the GI Bill, which is a federal benefit. There's a bunch more. I don't have time to go into all of it, but feel free to, in the chat window, in fact, should have done this with the last group. If you guys wouldn't mind just putting your emails in the chat window, we can write them down and send you some information. That way we can stay in touch with you. but it definitely there's I can send you the education kind of comparison tool, and it's got all the different education benefits. Your obligation is 2 to 3 days during the month. You're given veterans preference, so if you're interested in law enforcement, firefighting, other federal jobs, being a veteran helps you get a job in that field. Annual training is 2 to 3 weeks each summer. Veteran status, the ESGR is a group that protects you. Well, there's the Sailors and Soldiers Act is the act in Congress that protects you, but the ESGR is the organization that protects you, the individual who joins the National Guard, from being penalized by your employer if you get called out to go fight fire. So, or go to training. I've had a lot of people that say, I'd really love to join the Guard, but I've got a great job and I don't want to get fired because I'm gone for training for 3 months, 4 months. That can't happen. The federal government will not allow an employer to penalize one of its employees for volunteering to serve his country. So they just won't allow it. So there's a lot more information there as well. And then want to challenge. We have all the cool schools, like we can send you to Air Assault School, Ranger School, Pathfinder School. Those are all available in different capacities. These are the different career fields. We've got STEM careers, a lot in STEM actually. There's a new one there called cyber careers. It's cyber defense and I'm drawing a blank on what it is, but it's all, we have a field that's directed. It's all communications, computers, networks, IT technicians, and then the cyber career is completely different. That's basically learning how to protect systems from cyber attacks, and it's a new, pretty exciting career. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch there. There's medical, special forces. We have special forces in the National Guard. I was actually at the Special Forces unit for 5 years, and it's good stuff. If you're interested in really testing yourself, that's the way to go. Next slide. This is just a couple pictures. Military police on the top left. You got the medical folks over on the top right, the aviation on the bottom left, and then the combat special forces sniper guys down and sitting in a Black Hawk. Real quick, I mentioned this to the last group. My own wife actually joined the National Guard, and she's in nursing school right now. So she joined, and she is a medic, but part of the training, like while she was away at medic training school, she earned a ton of college credits for that training. So it applied towards her nursing degree. And that'll help when Mr. Dodge is talking about, ROTC and going to college. You can actually get your training out of the way before you even start college with something called the split training option. And I'll get into that in just a moment. But my wife joined as a medic, but she joined an aviation unit, so she gets to fly around on the helicopters like you see on the bottom left there. So you can really kind of not only do the job you want, but you can get in a unit that does some cool stuff. So next slide. So we're the only component of the DoD that responds to natural disasters like floods, fires, and earthquakes. We're the largest and oldest part-time component of the military. Our roots are from, I think it's 1642, and when the shopkeepers and the blacksmiths and the farmers, if they were called upon, would run and grab their rifle and defend their community, the little village or town that they were in back when we were 13 colonies. So that's kind of where our roots are from. That's why we're the oldest oldest component in the military. Only the National Guard can you start your contract in high school and get paid to train with us every month. So that's real quick. If each of you can real quick in the chat window, I see some of you have already put in your emails. Mr. Dodge, that's a great idea. I'll put mine in there too. How old? I see we've got Allison, Tanya, Kristen, and Carrie. If you guys wouldn't mind in the text window, just throw in your age and what high school you go to. And for those of you that are 16 or 17 and you're juniors in high school, the Guard has something called the split training option. Even if you're a senior and you're 18, you can still join, but you can join as a junior when you're 17 and start drilling with us, the recruiters, and you get paid about $300 for a weekend. You start learning about the Army. We prepare you for basic training. And then after your junior year is over, you go to basic training. You complete basic training that summer, and you come back and you do your senior year doing the same thing, drilling with us 1 weekend a month. And we do 1 day of training and 1 day of fun stuff. So we do like paintball or water survival training or helicopter rides, and you're getting paid. So that's what you do throughout the rest of your high school time. And then after you graduate, you go to your job skill training that summer. And then that allows you to roll right into college without missing a beat. You've already been through basic training. You've already got a job skill. You've been paid. You've earned, you earned about $4,500 for the basic training summer. So when you roll right into college, and if you choose to do ROTC, and we'll talk more about, they're going to talk more about that, but you do the simultaneous membership program. Now you're getting the benefits of both. Your tuition's covered, your room and board is covered. Mr. Dodge makes a very good point. He'll make a very good point later about a lot of people that go to college these days walk out of college owing a tremendous amount of money. And using these programs, you would walk out of college not owning a dime. In fact, you get paid quite a bit. So let's see. The Recruit Sustainment Program is exclusive to the National Guard. That's where we teach you stuff while you're in high school, learn medical emergency care, self-defense tactics, just anything military related, how to salute, how to walk, how to, all the stuff that we do in the military, we teach you that on the weekends. And then if you're interested in law enforcement, public service, being an EMT, actually that's what my wife's doing while she's going through college, you get veterans preference, and you have to take a civil service exam where you get an automatic 10 or 15 points for being in the military. So again, lots of benefits outside the normal, hey, we pay for college. So next slide. All right, so this is just kind of showing some stuff that you see on the top left there. They were fighting fires in Eastern Washington. I've done that about 7 times in my career. It's actually a lot of hard work, but it's the most rewarding stuff I've ever done. The people in the towns that you are out, you're up in the mountains fighting fires, but there are towns that are threatened by these fires, and the people come out in droves waving flags and cheering you on as you drive through to go fight the fires, and there's no better feeling. Like I said, I wish we had more time. I could go into more detail, but that's what's kept me in the Guard all these years is being able to go out and help the community, and just it's amazing. Down on the bottom left there, you'll see a bunch of soldiers and vehicles. That's downtown Seattle. That was actually, we were asked by the Seattle Seahawks organization to escort the Seahawks after they won the Super Bowl back in 2014, and it was the Washington National Guard that drove them through downtown Seattle, and with the million people that were down there cheering them on, it was Guard members that were driving those trucks and walking alongside to keep them safe. So it was, we do a lot of different things, not just fighting fires or going overseas. But bottom right corner there, that's actually a photograph from Hurricane Katrina. I was actually down there for 40 days. Again, can't say enough about how rewarding the work is to help your community. Even I was in New Orleans. It wasn't my community, but it still felt great, and the people down there were so thankful. It's not many jobs that you have that you get the opportunity to do that sort of thing. So next slide, I think, is the final. So if you want options, the National Guard won't make you move or give up your goals. We're assisting you. You part-time organization. You go to basic training and your job skill training, and after that initial training is over, it's 1 weekend a month, and you get all these benefits. Doors open, all kinds of doors open. Immediately after high school, you can go to college or go to a tech school. Your tuition's covered. Put yourself and your career first. We're part-time, 2 to 3 days a month, so you'll have time to pursue everything else in your life, and we help with that. And if you want to travel, we have units that go to Poland and Thailand and all over the world to do their 2-week annual training. They'll go to different places around the world or and there is no type of person that joins the National Guard. We're a large group of people that all have common goals and life plans. Mr. Dodge mentioned something earlier that I totally agree with, and that is that we're all one. We're all one. They say we're in the Army. We all bleed green. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, what your religious preference is, or where you come from, what your primary language is. We're all it's a brother, and we look out for each other. And it can't say enough about being in the military and in the Guard specifically. Next slide. And I just realized I never finished typing my email in the text. The split training option is something that this, again, just some pictures of Guard members doing, helping people out in emergencies. that's our primary duty. Let me finish typing this. No, I'm going to hit send. Um, the Guard has something called the split training option that allows juniors who are 17 to join, or you can join as a senior if you're 18. That's just, you can join then as well. I call it the running start for the military, because you start earning money, you start learning training, you start preparing for basic training and all that stuff while you're in high school. You get paid for drill weekends, and it's a great way to and you earn rank. So you're gonna, but by the time you graduate, you'll be at least an E3, if not an E4. That's a E1, E2, E3, E4. You're making more money at that point. Where if you wait till you graduate and then join, you're kind of starting from scratch. So for anyone who's thinking about part-time service, I highly encourage you. I just put my email down there. Oh, I mistyped Army. So Army without an H, my bad. Shoot me a text or an email, sorry. And I'd be happy to send you some information. You know, send me your email. And again, thank you for letting us have the time to talk to you. Mr. Dodge, I hope I didn't take up too much time.
No, it's perfect. No, we work in tandem.
Right.
So yeah, again, while the LT brings up my slides, the Guard has some fantastic opportunities, and some of those can go simultaneously with what I'm about to talk about, which is Army ROTC and scholarship opportunities that exist for you. And before I go on with the presentation, are there any questions, or does anybody want to get on the mic and ask something that may not have already been mentioned or would like to address now? I'll just pause for a second. Okay. All right. Well, hearing none, we'll kind of plow through these slides on our Army ROTC. Go ahead, Lieutenant, please. Go ahead. Next one. Okay. Similar to the good photos that the Sergeant Wolf showed you, these are cadets doing fun military training. Of course, the military does have a fitness culture, so we got cadets running around a track, doing obstacle courses, contracting, and riding in Blackhawks, I think, as the case may be in these pictures. Please go to the next one. So what is Reserve Officer Training Corps? It's basically a leadership cohort, and it's a class that you'll take in addition to your undergraduate degree of your choosing. Your goal as a ROTC cadet, in this case, is academic success, doing what you want and doing it well. The Army does not particularly care what you get a degree in, but the requirement to commission and be an officer, whether it be active duty or the Guard or reserves, frankly, is an undergraduate degree. So we provide leadership development, and the assessment piece of it is the big thing. A lot of you will come with credentials. You've been successful to this point in your life. You have a lot of great things that would indicate you'll be a great leader. And in ROTC, we will hone those leadership skills in a peer leadership environment, and give you some assessments so that when you go into the Guard or active duty or wherever you choose to serve, you will be an effective leader of soldiers. Next slide. Again, it's a class taught in addition to your undergraduate degree. ROTC is similar to junior ROTC, but not the same. The stated mission in junior ROTC at the high school is creating better citizens. So it's a citizenship program. And ROTC, we produce commissioned officers for our Army. ROTC is not basic training. You will definitely have that opportunity, whether it be split option or doing the simultaneous membership program with the Guard, but ROTC at the college is not basic training. We're not there to necessarily teach you how to march and salute and wear your uniform. We're there to teach and assess leadership. As a cadet, you're not really a soldier. In the case of an SMP cadet or somebody that does enlist in the Guard, you will be a soldier. But as a college cadet pursuing an active duty commission, you're not a soldier. You're not deployable. And again, that's purely because we want you to do whether it be the state funding your education or the American taxpayer, one way or the other, funding your education, your academic success first and foremost while you're in college is your number one goal. We'll talk through a little bit the 17 unique different career fields, a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings that all Army officers are in the infantry. That's not in fact the case. Many of them support the infantry in some capacity, but there's a lot of unique career fields, both as enlisted, as was mentioned, and in branching as an Army officer. And then your commitment, should you get a scholarship, is uniquely different, either 4 years on active duty, where that's kind of 24/7, 365, or the uniqueness of the Guard and Reserves is you can have a civilian career lined up, something maybe that you're interested in studying in your undergraduate degree, and then serve in the capacity of the Guard or Reserves. That commitment is 8 years, as mentioned there. All right, take nothing else away from this slide other than that URL, that web address on the top. For rising seniors, anybody that's going to be a senior next year, that portal, that scholarship application website portal will open for you in June, this coming June. For sophomores, obviously you have another year, and I'm happy to walk you through that process when it comes to that. But there's 3 boards that meet. There's 3 unique different scholarship boards that meet in October, January, and March, respectively, to determine your worthiness for a scholarship. But frankly, if you want to come to Seattle University, I'll be the person, myself and the lieutenant, while he's still there, we'll be the people that'll help you. And if you want to join the Guard and work ROTC in together, you can have no better resource than the NCO that just talked to you, Sergeant Wolf. The uniqueness of Seattle University, worth mentioning, are all Army ROTCs are not created equal. There's 275 host programs at colleges across the country. Seattle University, in addition to what the scholarship pays and the stipend and other things, Seattle University will also pay for your dorm room and your meal plan, which in today's dollars is about $5,000 per quarter. Next slide. Again, kind of the scholarship breakdown. Should you get an ROTC scholarship, it's 100% tuition. The books and fees is broken down $400 per quarter. And then for the 10 months that you're in college, you'll receive a $420 a month stipend that goes into the bank account of your choosing to offset the cost of living. And the aforementioned room and board listed there. And then some of the uniqueness of the opportunity. Obviously, you're in college to get a degree. You might be in the Guard to learn some things about the military and the culture that exists in our military. But you have a guaranteed job. Hopefully, it'll be in the profession that you've chosen. In this case, you'll graduate, walk away from college debt-free, which is pretty awesome and unique. Opportunity for future education benefits. I love that Sergeant Wolf talked about his own wife and the benefits that she's earned and the things that she's doing. And in serving and in receiving entitlements that she's earned and he's earned for them. You get a chance to travel and see the world. The aforementioned diversity is just awesome. And you won't get that in any industry, almost guaranteed. And you'll make some lifelong friends that you will know forever. And those people that when times get tough, you can pick up the phone and talk to. And have mentorship and friendships, etc. Next slide. Some training opportunities. I know the Guard has a lot of unique, awesome training opportunities. You showed some great photos of those things. The bottom line, again, is your academic success is first and foremost. But in the summers and in your spare time, there's some great opportunities to do some really cool Army training. And the goal here is to give you as many repetitions in different and unique things like internships and weapons qualification, so that when you are a commissioned officer, when you finish your education and you put on the 2nd lieutenant rank, you will go back into the Army as an officer with those experiences that will only serve to make you a better leader, frankly. So again, not all those opportunities are mandatory, but there's some unique opportunities that exist in ROTC. The next one. some eligibility requirements. All of this is kind of summarized by saying what we really look for is scholar athlete leaders. I know that's what Sergeant Wolf in general is looking for as well. Generally good scholar, generally good and understanding of the fitness culture that exists in the military. And that leadership thing is somewhat subjective, but what we're looking for there is, are you productive in your spare time? You know, we don't necessarily need future officers that aren't volunteering their time in service and doing things that would be productive. And so scholar athlete leader will give you a lot of opportunities in this application process. Next slide, please.
Mr. Dodge, I got a quick question.
Yep.
Because my knowledge of the ROTC and eligibility is, I'm not the subject matter expert. It says there must be a U.S. citizen, so green card holders are not eligible to join ROTC.
That's correct.
Okay,
You have
so
to be a full U.S. citizen.
Okay, so that just, I hate to interrupt, but that brings up a very good point. Something else that my wife took advantage of. My wife is from Brazil. She came here and decided she wanted to be a nurse. We got married. She got her green card and she joined the National Guard and she got her citizenship within about 6 months of getting her green card. So if there's anybody listening in that is a green card holder, you can get your citizenship for free. And it's expedited. Instead of having to wait 2 years or whatever it is, you get it at the moment you join. You sign up, or you apply for citizenship, and the government waives the fee. So and that would open a path for ROTC. So if you're looking at ROTC and you're a green card holder, I don't know if anybody here falls in that category, but instead of you not being eligible, the Guard could make you eligible before you even graduate high school. So just wanted to chime in.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I learned something there. I'll add that to the presentation.
Yeah.
I don't need to go through the YSU, but there are a lot of opportunities if anybody listening in is interested in ROTC and coming to Seattle University. Of course, I'm well suited, as is the lieutenant, to talk about those opportunities. Next chart, please. The career fields that exist in the Army, some of these terms are probably not well known. But like any civilian industry, you know, things like adjutant general, that's your human resources, quartermasters, some of the logistics and supply chain. But all that to say, there's a lot of unique career fields in the Army as a branch for officers. And many of these align quite well with the military occupational specialty that you may receive in the Guard. So you could be a soldier, in an MOS, pursue your undergraduate education at Seattle University, and likely align nicely to an officer branch where you could continue to hone those skills and be an effective leader. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, here's my contact information. That's my personal cell phone. You can snap a photo of it. We can send you these slides, whatever's easy, but I would encourage you to empower yourself. You got a lot of information in a short amount of time. And kind of to summarize what we've both talked about is we're here to help you. You know, if joining the Guard and service and going that route and doing ROTCs of interest, you can do that. If you want to go through this national scholarship application process and go to any college in the country and pursue ROTC, we can help you. And if you want to do both, I mean, that's kind of the Cadillac version of the opportunities that exist. Both Sergeant First Class Wolf and myself and the lieutenant, we're all here to help you. So I guess to summarize, appreciate your attendance tonight. You spent some time with us that you didn't have to spend. Hopefully it was valuable. Hopefully you learned some things. And if not, hopefully you took down our information and you can pass it to somebody that will benefit from the information.
And feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions.
Right. So yeah, I guess we've got at least a minute or so. Sorry, I muted myself. If anybody wants to chime in, ask any questions, we'll be on the chat here for about a minute.
And like they both said, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, I noticed in the chat a couple. There's parents that are watching. I'm not sure if your kids are watching as well, but of course, parents, you're more than welcome to reach out to us as well. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more questions than your kids can think of to ask. So we're more than happy to answer those as well.
Yeah,
And
all of our emails are in the chat. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, I'm a Seattle University graduate myself. 4 years as a business with a business management degree and a minor. I can answer any questions you might have about student life, what Seattle University is like, and what the kind of work-life balance feels like being a cadet here at Seattle University. So any questions, please reach out to our emails. I believe all of our phone numbers are on one of these slides. So don't be scared. We're here to help.
All right, thank you all for attending. Thanks to our presenters. We're going to close this session out and we'll start session 3 in just a couple minutes.
Roger.
Thank you.